Hey everyone, in today's tutorial I'm going to show you a super simple way to create glossy text in Gimp. Now I have my text here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the path tool, and I'm going to create the shadow portion of our gloss. Now usually that's just a simple curve that goes through the text, so I'm just going to hook it around like that and then go over to the paths dialog, and I am going to right click on the path we just made and select path to selection and go back to our layers. Now I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to go over to my gradient tool, and I want to make sure that black is selected and that it goes from the foreground to transparent. And we are just going to drag this down, and I think I'm going to make the shadow a little smaller. There we go. Now I want to go up to select none, and now I'm going to right click on my text layer and go to alpha to selection, and then make sure this gradient layer is selected again and go up to edit, cut. Now we can hide this shadow layer and create a new layer to paste our selection onto. I'm going to go up to select. Actually, I'm going to go over and create a new layer. And then now we need to create the highlight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pen tool again, and I'm going to kind of match where our first curve was. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then kind of connect it around again. I want to make sure this is all selected. And then we go over to our path dialog, right click, path to selection. Now we need to create a new layer for this highlight layer and make sure that white is the foreground color, and select our gradient tool. And now we are going to drag this up and go up to select none. Now we need to blur out this shadow and highlight to make it look like they merge together a little bit better. So I'm going to select the shadow layer. We're going to go up to filters, blur, just over to blur. And then we're going to go up to our highlight layer and go up to filters, blur, blur. Now we want to make sure that the text stays as sharp as it was without being affected by this blur that we just did. So we want to select our text layer again, and we want to go to our shadow layer first and go up to edit, cut. And now we can hide our shadow layer and paste the new one and create a new layer for that. And we also want to do the same for our highlight layer. We want to alpha to selection our text layer, and then make sure our highlight layer is selected and go up to edit, cut, and then hide that layer, edit, paste, and then create a new layer. And then you can also turn down the opacity on these. I want to turn down the shadow just a little bit. And I also want to turn down the highlight to match. And you can just play around with these until you get the effect that you want. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please leave me a like and subscribe. It really helps. Thank you so much for watching.